There's also the tribe of Mikase, but I'll get to that later. And there was another one that was like, what are you doing now?
Walking the plank.
So at Bartle, the pool rules are kind of stupid.
Everybody to the storm shelter!
We ran to the storm shelter / pavilion in our pod, and me and Meow both grabbed our sleeping bags to take with. I'm not exactly sure if you'd call this a day 2 nighttime or day 3 morning, because it was already 3 a.m. when we were under the pavilion. We could see lightning basically constantly because it was, one of those storms. Fast forward to morning, everything was kind of back to normal, except we were all wet, meaning that we'd have to wear rain ponchos. Ugh. Let me just say that rain ponchos are the dumbest idea ever. Let's just use rain jackets.
Nah, let's use some stupid-looking pieces of cloth with 3 holes cut out of them.
You're an idiot.
Well, at least I'm a rich idiot.
So the whole day was filled with... However, the day wasn't completely boring because we had another outpost. The older scouts would be going to a handgun shooting one, and the younger scouts would be going to one where you have a harness and you stack crates below you and get on top of them. It was kind of like Minecraft. But before we went to the outpost, my brother Samuel went missing. Now let me remind you that Bartle is... So looking for him became quite a trial. On top of that, my dad couldn't find his car keys. After he went down to the authority lodge thingy, he was reporting Samuel missing, and then he asked me to go and see if another leader from the troop was coming to return his keys. He pointed me up the road where the other leader might be, and just like he most likely assumed, Mad Unit went with me. As we were going up to the road, we both said prayers that the car keys and my brother would be found. When we got up there, another leader was looking out the window of his car, and when he got there, he said,
Here are your keys. Samuel's over at the shooting thing right now.
Whoa, if that wasn't God, then what was it? So it was a pretty exhausting day. Fortunately, tomorrow was the day of rest, Sunday. But at Bartle, it's a different name, Visitors Sunday. I think you can guess what it is by the name. Most of my brothers and sisters were there, and that's saying a lot because I have a big family. My oldest brother was there with his guitar. He played a lot of stuff, but the one I mainly remember was the Weird Al parody of American Pie called The Saga Begins. It's about Star Wars. Look it up. Meow Jr.'s family was also there. He had a little brother who totally wrecked me at Go Fish. We all brought food. It was great. Okay, day 5. Okay, I promised I'd talk about the tribe of Mikase. Now, the whole point of that is that everything a non-tribesman like me didn't actually see was pretty much a secret to them. But all the stuff we all saw, the non-secrets, I'm going to let Arman the Epic explain because he knows from experience, and because I'm lazy.
So I've been looking forward to being part of the tribe of Mikase for many years now. So when call night came around, I was super excited sitting there in the stands waiting for my turn. And you see, they call you out in sort of a random fashion, so you're never sure if you're going to be the first or last person. And it looks like I was one of the first. So that seemed good to me, got it out of the way really quickly. So what they do when they call you, they got you in this giant semicircle, and you're all lined up, and you have to stare this young person in the face. And my person that I had to stare in the face was way taller than me with massive muscles. And I was just looking up at him like, oh, God, he's going to kill me. And then they play these drums, and they run, these runners, they grab you, and they give you a wedgie, and they flop you around like you're a dead rag doll for a bit. And then they throw you on the ground, essentially, and they make you sit there with your head down. And since I was in the first group, that means I had to sit there with my head down on the ground. Oof. Well, I guess it wasn't. I was sitting like cross-legged, and I had to like bow my head down and keep it down, and it hurt by the end. I hated myself. I wanted to die. I wanted to die. But when it was over, we left, and we were not allowed to talk. They even tested us. They would like grab us by the shoulder and shake us and yell, "Don't you understand what they said? You can't speak. You can't say anything." And you just have to sort of be shook around like a rag doll because you can't speak or make any emotion for 24 hours, including that point. And after that, I can't really tell you where we went or what we did, but we did something and we talked. I guess we didn't talk. We were talked at. We did some stuff, and then we went home back to camp, and we slept. And then the next day, we did work while being silent, and we moved rocks. This much is not a secret. You could have seen us do it, and moving all these rocks out of the campsites. And at one point, we found a snake, and we had to our supervisor, who could talk because he was already a member of the tribe, had to call the eco lodge to come and grab the snake because I guess it was poisonous. It was some crazy copperhead thing. I don't know. Point was, is it spooked me at first. And what was unfortunate is that at first I didn't have the proper gloves to pick up rocks, so my hands kept getting beat up. It wasn't until after lunch that I managed to get some gloves and spare the use of destroying my hands doing this project. And so after that, we just kind of chilled out and got ready for that night because you have a special night in the woods. I won't say what you do, but you do sleep out there in the woods without a tent or any other shelter except the trees. And then you wake up and you just sort of there's a lot of other stuff that happens that next day, and then you go out and you sleep in the woods again. I can't say too much else about that, except that surprisingly, that's probably the best I've ever slept on any camp out or camping environment ever, is just on the ground there. Possibly because I was worked out and possibly because I was tired, but I just slept like a baby on the rocks, which there were lots of rocks, and at first you think, oh, gotta clear these away. Nope, you can't clear away something that there's a million of. You just kind of have to deal with it, you know? And so after that, we do some more ceremonies, we get some more stuff done, and then finally it's brave ceremony, which I can't speak too much about, except that, during the whole thing, I had to go to the bathroom, and they do put you through some nutball stuff. I won't say specifically what. It's pretty difficult. But during that whole ceremony, I just had to go to the bathroom. And I won't say anything, but there was a moment where I was just like, oh please, for anything, let me hold it to the end. And I eventually did make it. And when I went to try to go to use the bathroom right after the brave ceremony, guess what? I didn't have to go at all. It was just my nerves. So that was a real pity. So that was my entrance. And what else can you do as a tribesman? Well, there's all these white rocks everywhere. I bet you've said that somewhere before in one of these videos. I don't know. I don't remember, at least. But now you can pass them, and there's cool things to do in them. I can't say what, because then that's cheaty. But there's some cool stuff behind that update. So yeah, there's all kinds of special privileges in the sort you can do. You have I can't really speak too much about. There's a lot of stuff I just can't talk about because I fear they'll kill me. You're probably gonna want to put like a filter over my voice and like protect my identity, like blur out my eyes or something, because seriously, they'll get me. There's a lot of cool stuff, and I have like a whole Indian attire that I have built, and it looks cool. And also, I have to wear this claw around my neck with this little pouch that has my secret medicine, which I cannot tell anyone except the Great Spirit and me. That's a secret. Shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, there's a lot more to the tribe, I suppose, but I can't really say much of it, just because it's such a secret and it would spoil the surprise. And there's a lot more stuff that I had to do to get it that I can't talk about either, just because of, it spoils the fun, I suppose. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Hey, if you're having trouble trying to end this video, just do what I do and use an unrelated title card, like this.
It was pretty awkward for all of us because every time anyone would even mention being on silence or look at him or anything, we all felt super guilty. But apparently he didn't care the slightest bit. And that brings us to the end of the video.
Hey, if you're having trouble trying to end this video, just do what I do and use an unrelated title card, like this.
We ran to the storm shelter in our shelter/pavilion. We ran to the storm shelter/pavilion in our... One more try. I'm not exactly sure if you'd call this a day 2 nighttime, or the older scouts would be going to a... And the younger ones would be going to one where you have to harness yourself and just like you most likely assumed, Mad Junior went with me.
I was looking forward to the tribe of Mikase for a long time. It was a long time coming, and oh boy, was I sure excited on the night of ironically called Call Night, I guess. Okay, that's a bad run. Forget that. Well, yeah, there's all the special privileges. Those. What else is there? You're gonna want to cut that part out where my computer just